Hello guys and welcome. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can make your first 5K online as a personal trainer. I'm going to kind of reverse engineer this goal and give you the step-by-step of what I've done in order to get to my first 5K and what I've kind of, taught the guys that I work with. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Tom Hutchison. I work with personal trainers, helping them go to like 3 to 5K, get their first 3 to 5K month. I'm not going to try to pitch or sell you anything in this video. I literally just want to give away more value for free than what other people will have you pay for. So the big goal being 5K. Let's break this down and kind of roadmap it and show how you're going to get there. So let's say, for example, that you're selling a 1K program. That's like 1K for 90 days. That's how much you're charging. It might be more, it might be less. Just adjust the maths that we do here into that. So obviously to get to 5K, you're going to have to sell 5 of these programs. Okay? Sounds simple, sounds easy. But how are we going to sell 5 of them? So typically, the way the selling process works as an online coach is you're going to be like making content. Somebody's going to see it. You're going to message them or they're going to message you. You're going to attempt to book them on a call and then you're going to try and close them. So let's say, for example, you get 10 calls and out of those 10 calls, you are able to close 5. Okay, so pretty good close rate, and that's just an example, guys. Don't expect to go in and close like 5 out of 10 calls straight off the bat with no sales experience whatsoever. But how do we get these 10 calls? How do we get these 10 really good calls that are, highly likely to close? So before we have our 10 sales calls, normally what would happen is we'd have a bunch of like discovery type calls. So for example, a step-by-step would look like, let's draw it out so you can see it. So it's like, let's just say they message you or you message them. It can be either way. Next is you get them on call number 1. Okay, and call number 1, this doesn't necessarily have to be like a sales call. You're just going to be offering some advice, getting to build some rapport with them, getting to understand their goals, qualifying them as an actual client. And then at the end, you can say something along the lines of, hey, like, you sound like you'd be a really good fit for what we offer. I think I can help you get to the goal, that you're trying to get to. Would you be open to hearing about the program that we've got? Because I really do think you're a perfect fit. And they'd be like, yeah. And then at that point, if you feel like you can pitch there and then, you can get the close there. If not, and there's kind of like a few things in the way and you haven't asked, the questions that you need to ask in order to be able to, pitch them the service, you should never pitch until it's a yes. Then you can offer a second call in which you'll break that down and get a game plan on, so that second call will be the sales call for definite. So let's say, for example, these 10 here is that second sales call, okay? How many do we need to get? So let's say, for example, out of 20 discovery calls we get, or triage calls, whatever you want to call these calls, we get 10 of them on. Okay? So how do we get 20 discovery calls booked? Well, one thing you should know about calls as well, guys, before you start doing this, is that not all calls show up. Like, you have to, take into consideration that there's going to be no-shows, and that's absolutely fine. It's just part of the game. So let's say, for example, we book 30 calls, and out of these 30, we have 20 of them show up. Okay, so we have 30 calls booked in, 20 show up, 10 come on the sales call, 5 close. So now you can see that it's, you're looking to hit more volume. There's bigger numbers here, but how do we get 30 calls booked in? How are we going to do this? So on average, I'd say every like 30 messages I get sent out, I don't know why I did my hour weird that time. Every 30 messages I get sent out, I tend to get 1 call booked. Okay. Which means I'm actually going to have to send out somewhere around 900 messages to get 30 calls booked. So, and I'm not saying 900 messages in a day, but that 900 messages would equal 30 calls. But what's that per day? So this is just where you're focusing like really on what your activities wants to be. Like, my goal now is never like to hit like a 5K or a 10K or anything like that. It's just to hit my daily target. And if I do that consistently, I get results. It's the people that focus on the huge big goals. It's the same in weight loss. People are focusing on like, losing like 30 pounds rather than just focusing on the first pound and celebrating that win. Be like, great, we did that. Because they're like so like almost too long-sighted. They can't see what they need to be doing in the short term, and they can't see the process that needs to be following in order to generate that success. And there really is no secret. There is absolutely nothing like behind any secret wall. There's no silver bullet. It's just these numbers, the input and the output. And I'm going to talk about something in a minute that can supplement this and make these numbers higher. So, okay, so we need to send out 900 messages. Now, obviously, you're not going to do that in one day, but 900 messages works out to 30 per day, which is more than doable in my opinion. More than doable. But out of these 30 as well, like you've got to account for things like no-shows. So that's why, 30 out of these, 20 out of these 30 show up. Okay, so in order to raise these numbers, you can do a couple of things. You can either make your content better so that you have a higher number of people show up. You might get to 25 people to show up. Or you can put a higher number of messages out there. So if this was doubled, obviously all of these numbers would be doubled to do it. But I recommend doing both. So I recommend having like good content and a lot of volume for messages. So having a mixture of these two things can guarantee that you get to this 5K. But see how we've reverse engineered that? Like, I don't want your focus to be on that 5K whatsoever. Focus on just posting like 2 or 3 pieces of content a day, being active on the story and messaging those 30 people, and you're bound to grow. Like, there's no secret script. There's no secret like button to press on Facebook. There's nothing. This is just it. So I hope you found that insightful. I hope you now have a game plan to go ahead and just execute on this. If you want the script and a few places that you can actually go message people, then send me a DM on Instagram at TomWatchMove, and I will personally send you the script and give you a free training that shows you exactly how to, target the people to message. The blueprint's there. Okay, you just got to do it.